Hey guys, how are we? Okay, so there's an article going around that says there's 8,300 medbed centres in the United States. People are asking me if that's true. I haven't had any contact with the Alliance for quite a few weeks now, so I couldn't verify. So I thought I would ask them. Who better to get it from than those that actually in the medbed department within the military. So I called them. And lo and behold, I got a response. Okay, so this is what I've been told from the medbed or medical department within the military. Okay, so there are three specialized medbed centers in the United States. Now, before you jump up and down and say that's not enough, okay, hear me out. This is what they said. There are 3 specialized medbed centers in the United States. However, there are 50,000 medbeds around the United States. Now, some of these medbeds are in military bases, some of them are in disused hospital wards, some are in medical clinics, some underground bases, some anywhere that you would not imagine a major medical technology to be. Okay, so 50,000, just over 50,000 actual med beds dotted around the United States. Now, the 3 main centers, I didn't get a location. They said no, we're not ready to give out that yet. Is what the public will be aware of. Okay, so those centers will be used mainly for education. Okay, to teach people how to use the beds and all of that, as well as any news or publicity or anything like that. That's where those centers those centers will be. The rest of them will be in quiet locations away from the public eye. Okay, so you could be walking to the post office and you walk past a building that's just been refurbished and it just looks like a regular business or call center. So you take no notice and lo and behold, there's med beds there treating people. Okay, or an underground base, a military base, anywhere. Now, I asked about Australia. Australia has 1 specialized medbed center, and that is in apparently Canberra. Can't stand Canberra. I know it's our capital, but it's so boring. There's nothing to do. Oh my god, I went there and so boring. Anyway, it's apparently in Canberra. Sorry, Canberrians. I don't like your state. It's boring. But again, there's just over 5,000 med beds around Australia. Again, similar to America. Every country is pretty much the same. So the smaller the country, you'll have 1 major center, and then other little places inconspicuous places will have med beds. Okay, now the animal healing chambers. There's not as many animal healing chambers, okay, but they are right next to or in very close proximity to the actual med beds. So where you'll find a med bed, okay, you will find an animal healing chamber somewhere around there. Okay, so it could be in for example, you might have to go to a horse stable, okay, and they'll have a healing chamber in there. It might be at a zoo, it might be at a university in the vet department. Just places that you would not expect it to be. Again, could be on a military base, it could be, for some, it might even be on the same land as the med beds. So it just depends, your location, the population, there's so many different factors. But the med beds are in place, staff has been trained and currently is still being trained to use them to start treating humanitarians first, okay, then managers, and staff will be trained, will use them as they are being trained. Using the med beds is part of your training to use the med beds. and then the worst of the public, and then will be released to the rest of the public. Okay, so the most critical, you know, those that's on life support, cardiac failure, liver failure, dialysis, all the other severe life-threatening conditions, okay, sepsis and all that kind of thing, and then released to the rest of the public. Okay, so we're looking at approximately 4 to 6 weeks. I'm being told closer to 6 weeks. After the RV appointments, the public will be made aware of the beds, okay, of the bed's existence, which is pretty much the time in which humanitarians have already been treated. So the first 6 weeks is humanitarians and managers and their dependents. Then the public will be made aware of the bed's existence. I'm not too sure how they're going to do that. And then straight away they will start treating the worst. Once the humanitarians and that is done, they will treat the worst of the worst. Okay, remember, if you're learning to use the med beds, then that will be part of your training. Okay, even if you've had a med bed procedure, you will still have to go through it again during training. So even if they take off a kilo or they lengthen your hair by an inch or lighten your eyes, they'll do something, okay, to basically teach you and to go through the whole experience with you. Okay, instead of just having it medically done, you will go through the whole training process as the patient, just like they do for, you know, when you're learning to be a doctor or a nurse. In some cases, you become the patient for a day. Okay, so you have, I don't know, your blood pressure taken and all kinds of different weird things during your training. Everyone's different. Every place is different. And then about 4 to 6 weeks after they make the public aware of the beds, then they will release the phone numbers to actually start booking your appointment. National phone numbers. Okay, so you can start booking your appointment and go from there. Okay, so we're looking at about 3 months after the release of the humanitarian funds or redemption appointments to when you can actually start booking your appointment. Now, of course, there's many factors in that and timelines do change, but they're looking at around 3 months. Okay, that's what their estimate is, based on you know, the amount of humanitarians, based on the amount of people that's, you know, close to death, and all of that. So I agree with their prediction for the 3 months, based on my observations with everything. So yeah, just want to clear that up. Okay, so there's just over 5 million med beds available worldwide, 3 specialized centers in America, 1 specialized center in Australia, and I didn't go into the other countries because I would be there for the rest of the night and I don't want to do that. So just to clear things up. Okay, hope that helps, and take care everyone, and good night.